Get it and shoot it off. Okay, seems like we got a full house today. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order at 4:01 on September the 9th, 2024. Izzy, would you like to make the roll call?
Yes, and I apologize if you hear my son. I'm going to try to keep him quiet. Deborah Carter? Here. Kim Sella? Here. James Potter?
Here.
Edward James?
Here.
Linda Camp?
Here.
Raisha Rollins?
Here.
Ben Samuels?
Here.
Jordan Sanders?
Here.
James Neely?
Okay, like you're missing one. Okay, all of the others in attendance, please introduce yourself. Anyone from the office of the St. Louis County Exec?
Paul Hampel here, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Okay. From the St. Louis County Council? Department of Transportation, Public Works?
Yes, Chair James, this is Ray Golick. I am here.
Okay. St. Louis County Police Department?
Brad Kelly, County Police Department's here.
The county counselor?
I am here today.
Okay,
Portia could not be here.
okay. By State Development? Anyone from
Chuck Stewart.
Okay, what else?
With administration.
Kevin Scott, Security.
Okay.
Chad.
Anyone else from St. Louis County Council? Okay. Like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the June 10th, 2024 meeting and the June 26th, 2024 meetings. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Okay, it's been moved, probably second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any more? Okay. Okay, ayes have it, motion passed. Okay, reports. Reports from the St. Louis County Council Office. Okay, none. Department of Public Works and Transportation.
We have no report this month, Chair James.
St. Louis County Police Department.
All right, good afternoon. Happy to report again, our moving average for crime is down across all the measurable categories we look at. Year to date, in the areas of crimes against persons, our average is down 28%, meaning negative 28%. We look at our crimes against property, it's down to negative 19%. And our crimes against society is at negative 16. This is a trend we've seen all year. Our numbers continue to be down, which is what we like. Staffing wise, we have nothing changed at this point from our last meeting. You asked me to give an update on trainings. We sent 2 of our officers to that are assigned to the camera center to training down in New Orleans recently for the latest updates on tracking and documentation. So I've got to speak with them about some of the other knowledges and certifications they gained from that training, but I will update you when I can on that. And finally, public relations wise, we're looking to October has been designated for whatever reason National Coffee with a Cop Day. So we're going to look for an opportunity to do that at one of the platforms in St. Louis County during the month of October. We will do Coffee with a Cop one morning. So, and that's all I have, sir.
All right, thank you. By State Development.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is Chuck Stewart. I'm going to give the operations report for Metro Transit. We continue to have success with our hiring events and hiring new operators, bus operators, especially Colorado operators and mechanics. I had over 200 applications in our June and August hiring events and made over 170 job offers. I currently have about 640 bus drivers, about 160 van operators, 31 bus operators in training. So we are slowly but surely rebuilding our team. And as a result of that, we're in the process now of changing our service, enhancing the service offerings that we have. Before I move on, there's a hiring event on October 26th at our North County Transit Center. So if you know anybody that is interested in being a bus operator, a van operator, a Metrolink operator, or a mechanic or an electrician, please send them our way.
What was that date again, Mr. Stewart? I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
What was that date for the
It was October 26th.
October? Okay.
It's
Thank
at
you.
our North County Transit Center from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. As I've been stating, as we rebuild our team, we are slowly enhancing the service that we are providing, primarily focusing on reliability and improving service times, moving from 1 hour service to 30-minute service to, in some cases, 12 or 15-minute service. So we've been successful in doing that. Our latest system change, service change, was today. It actually happened today. 7 Metro bus routes with schedule and/or routing adjustments. We continue to monitor our ridership. We continue to monitor our service. We continue to get feedback from customers and from our drivers on the situations that are taking place out on the road. So you will get more information about our upcoming service changes as those things occur. We are planning a major change in December. Again, improving bus routes and service design in St. Louis County. There'll be slight improvement in Metrolink. I'm sorry, Colorado. We plan to include the Mercy South Hospital on the route again. That's something that the community has been calling for. As a result of these expansions in our fixed route system, that will also mean that we'll expand some of the service as it relates to Colorado. But again, we'll continue to have meetings with the community and make sure that people are aware of what we are doing and when. Colorado in particular, improved recruitment and retention. We changed our training programs. Of course, we've emphasized our hiring programs. My other update says we have current operators at 171 with a goal of 180 by November. Previously, we were hoping to get 170 by November. So we're experiencing a 23% increase in Colorado operators since January of 2024. I have this beautiful graph that I wish I could show you. but it basically shows that we got 170 operators, that our service, the number of trips provided has grown from 5,000 a week to close to 8,000 a week at this time. So that is proof that we are providing better service as it relates to call a ride. And at the same time, over that same time period, about 14 months, our denials have gone from 46% to near zero. And of course, that is our objective, to get to zero denials. And when we get to zero denials, Call a Ride will be ready for expansion along with the fixed route system. And we're looking forward to that. And as I said, we're going to do some of that in December. Phone system update. I think I've reported previously that we have a new phone system provider. We have had no drop calls on our system since July 13th. We're still having an issue with hold times, but I think part of that is our customers don't trust us yet. They don't trust us that you can call after 8:30 on Friday and still get a reservation. Everybody's trying to call in on Friday still, be the first one on the line. That's still backing up our systems, but our denial rate, the way it has gone down, is proof perfect that you don't have to do that anymore. So we're encouraging our customers to learning curve. You know, we're reporting to them. We're making them aware that things are getting better. You can trust us a little more and wait a little bit to put in that call. We have selected a provider for our reservation software. That provider is Spare Labs. They were given a notice to proceed back in July. We're working toward the goal of launching this new system by the end of 2004. As we go through the process, as we implement certain things, we will be including our customers as part of the testing phase. Some of the features in this new software: better trip routing, continuous optimization. One of the problems that we have is we have our vans out all over the community, and if somebody cancels a ride, you ought to be able to pick up another ride quick, somebody else that needs a ride, provide that service to them. So this software will help us with that. It'll also give text, phone, and email notifications. It has an interactive voice recognition, web and app-based scheduling options, basically a new way to submit applications for eligibility for Call a Ride. So we're looking forward to this new software and the new features that it will provide to our community. We continue to have, we've reinitiated the Accessibility Advisory Committee. This is a committee that we will work with very closely going forward as it relates to paratransit service. And the committee has, it's been in existence for a while, never really quite active, not enough interest in keeping it going. So we've been advertising that we're going to reinitiate this, and we're looking for 15 members, including older adults, people with disabilities, caregivers, professionals. We put the information out, and so far we have 175 statements of interest for these 15 positions. So we're going to start our meetings with this new committee first week in November. And again, we continue to have our Community Connect meetings. These are the meetings where not only our paratransit community, but our ridership at large, our customers, our citizens of the region are invited just to learn more about what we are doing at Bi-State. We usually have these meetings quarterly. There'll be one virtual meeting where everybody can log in, and usually there's 3 in-person sessions at various spots throughout the region. And they're usually timed right in advance of another service change. So we'll certainly have another one in November. The dates are November 1st, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So you should see information about that. And hopefully you'll get an opportunity to attend if you like and learn more, not only about Metro's call-a-ride service, but all of our services and how we are trying to serve the community better. So that concludes my report, and I would be happy to entertain any questions.
I guess on those last set of meetings, can you make sure that we get a copy of the login and copy of the dates again?
Certainly.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Chuck, I had a question.
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations on the call-a-ride denials going from 40%, 46% to near zero in such a short amount of time is just amazing. So congratulations. That's great. A question with regards to, you have 640 Metro bus operators. You have 170 offers out for additional Metro bus operators. Is that
170
correct?
offers, I think that includes all. That includes Metro Bus, call-a-ride, and probably mechanics.
Okay, so what have you budgeted for to top out at operators? Do you have a number
Yeah,
that we
our
should be
budget, our
looking?
budget for this current fiscal year is 650. We are right there right now.
Okay.
But we continue to take applications, and you got to keep the pipeline full. One of the problems we had during the pandemic is, before the pandemic, we were really flush with employees, and we weren't recruiting as hard. So that's
Okay.
we got double impact from the pandemic. So we got that engine rolling again. We still have to deal with retirements and resignations and all other kind of employee issues, absenteeism. So we want to certainly meet our budgeted goal, but I think at this time it's wise to be even a little more conservative and just to have a few more just in case, or people in the pipeline ready to go.
So with the number you have and with the offers you have out, and you're being very conservative, having operators in the pipeline, but what would be the next threshold level to increase service further on the streets?
Well, as you know, during the pandemic, we actually cut service in some
Right.
areas, basically on the far ends of our service area, further into South County, further into West County, further into North County. And so that would be the next step. Okay, bringing in things like the hospital in South County, areas where people are asking for additional service. Now, that's not to say that all of that additional service will require, 40-foot buses. So as we do this, we're thinking about how we use VIA and call-a-ride in these new service areas. Right now, we're still working on reliability and frequencies. I shouldn't have any missed trips if I'm going to start talking about expanding service out further. So we still got to work on perfection, reliability, frequency, those kind of things. And in December, we'll probably do our first phase of actually expanding the system a little bit.
Okay. So my question was more, what is the number of operators you need to restore additional service from the cuts during the pandemic?
Well,
so is there
okay.
another number you need to?
Yeah, well, pre-pandemic, we were at about 735. So that's probably another, 100 not quite 100, about 75 additional operators to be at the strength that we need to fully restore pre-pandemic service. However, since the pandemic, our customer base has changed. Their need to go into certain areas has changed. So we're taking all of that into consideration as we slowly do this restoration and expansion.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Thanks, Chuck.
Any additional questions? Okay, hearing none. Security.
Hi, Kevin Scott from Bi-State. Looks like the agenda is asking for an update on the secured platform plan. Just as an overview or a reminder for anybody that has not been attending the meetings, this is the security gating, fencing, and the reconfiguration and complete upgrade of our closed circuit television system. We are taking MetroLink from an open concept system to a secured system where you'll have to pass through gates after producing your fare. As I've discussed in the past, we divided this total project into packages. Package one, or the beta test package, as I refer to it, is in Illinois, Emerson Park, Jackie Joyner Kersee, Washington Park, and College, which is Southwestern Illinois College. That package is nearing final completion. As a matter of fact, this morning we took Emerson Park live, so those gates are operating. I anticipate that we will take Jackie Joyner Kersee live on the 16th of this month, Washington Park live on the 23rd, and Southwestern Illinois College live on the 30th. And then in addition to that, we have significant construction going on in Missouri in package number 2. Package number 2 consists of the following platforms: Del Mar, Forest Park, Central West End, Vortex, Grand, Union Station, and Civic Center. We anticipate those gates, or at least at some of those locations, the gates being installed pretty expeditiously, and that we would be able to, in a phasal fashion, start to bring up those platforms in package number 2. I would suggest to you that we will have all of those platforms done in package number 2 by the end of this year. So in total, we will have 11 platforms completed. Please remember that our project and the upgrade of the fare collection system, 2 different projects, are working collaboratively, and those projects will marry. In the interim, prior to the integration of the new fare collection hardware and technology, our gates are operating on the old fare collection system. Our current validators do not open the gates. So once someone validates their ticket in the affirmative, the security officer will proxy card them through the gates. This has been going on now at Emerson Park since around 11:30 this morning and seems to be going relatively smoothly. No major delays. As a matter of fact, having security present is an optimal operational priority because things go rather smooth when they're there. So that's what we're doing. We will do the same thing at the other platforms that I suggested until we have fare collection integration. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any of your questions.
Any questions for security? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Finance.
Good afternoon. I apologize. Hopefully you can hear me. I know you can't see me. I had some problems getting onto the meeting this afternoon. But good afternoon. So what we're talking about today is a draft set of financials for our June 30th, 2024. We have our auditors in our building right now. So these are preliminary, but I think we're pretty close. So we'll go ahead and walk them through. What you'll see, and I'm just going to kind of start out with the income before depreciation line, which is at about 41.4 million of a loss. We oftentimes, when I have these discussions, we don't talk about depreciation. We show a number of 71.3 million there, and mainly we don't talk about it because most of our depreciation is funded, or most of our capital, which is what that represents, is funded by the FTA. There is a portion of that that is local match, but 80% of it is coming in from the FTA. So when you look at that, what you see is our loss is at 41.4 million. If you look a little bit further down, you'll see our net transfers of about 4.7 million. What that actually represents is our self-insurance funds. And so those are expenses too. So in total at year end, we were at about 46.1 million in loss. Just to kind of recap, what does that represent for both revenue and expense? Some of the big items that you'll mention or you'll notice is St. Louis County, obviously, it's under budget by about 56.1 million. And that is primarily due to the fact that during the 24 budget season. We agreed with them that we would work with them too, and we used defederalized funds to cover a portion of the operating budget for 2024. So that's what that represents. Also, you'll see passenger revenue is under budget when we're just looking strictly actual to budget. It's down about 2.6 million. And one of the other big items there is the federal funding, which is down about 7.5 million. And if you remember, this is the last time, hopefully, this is the last month that we were talking about the defederalized funds from that aspect. We had some money in those, that's what that represents, of money we had in the budget that we were going to bring in from COVID relief funds. So that was the last of it. And we didn't actually, we had it in the budget, but didn't actually bring any in through that method in 2024. When you look at expenses, you can see that we're under budget on wages and benefits by about 7.3 million. Services, you see that line item, that's about 4.1 million. And then materials and supplies about 2.9, but that is offset a lot by the casualty and liability costs of 6.3 million. So in total, we were under budget by about 13.1, but as you can see, we were also under in some of our revenue line items, so that kind of offsets some of that savings that we may have saw there. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay. Any questions of finance?
Tammy, why is the county appropriation so much less than budgeted?
Because they, so when we went through the 24 budget process, they chose to use some of the, so what we did is we worked with our funding partners with the COVID relief money we had, and we call it defederalized funds, okay? And that money could be used differently. It could be used for either operating or capital. St. Louis County decided that they wanted to use it for their operating budget in 2024, whatever remaining dollars that we had that we could allocate towards them. And so that's why it looks so funny this year. But next year we're back to normal. Does that make sense? Hopefully.
So they used it for transit operating, or?
Yes, yeah. So they used it for our transit operating budget. It was our dollars. We had them in-house, but they decided that that's how they wanted to use those funds.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Come back to that one. Any other questions for the finance? Okay. Is there any update on the capital improvement projects, capital projects, North County expansion? Okay. Hearing none. Marketing.
Good afternoon. The last tab in your books is Marketing, Communications, and Engagement, and it gives a recap of July of 2024, notable headlines, the mentions. We had 660 mentions of Metro Transit. Our positive reach was over 88 million, and our publicity value, if we would actually have to pay for this publicity or this kind of positive conversation about us, we would spend about $6.7 million to get this. Our share of sentiment positive was very high this month. It's almost 52%. If you turn to the second page in there, you'll see a share of sentiment by month. And it compares, it's a rolling 12-month process. So at the bottom page of that page, you'll see July with 56.81 as far as negative. That is July of 2023 versus July of 2024. So like we talk about, news is cyclical, depending on what's going on our system and all those pieces. It either pushes us towards the positive, the neutral, or the negative. The following pages just really cover a lot of the stuff that we've been partnering with. Like, for instance, Gold for the Gold is a partnership that CMT created for us and some of our other partners to really kind of celebrate the Olympics, and people could win passes and such. So really cool idea. Of course, we were out for for Fair St. Louis as well. And so we're continuing to do a lot of different activations out in the community to make sure people know about who we are and what we do, answer questions. It gives us a great opportunity to even talk about recruiting. Governor Pritzker was in town to celebrate the opening of the new Emerson Park Public Safety Building with our partners of St. Clair County. They were responsible for that program and kind of cool things. We continue to strengthen our security measures. Kevin can talk about that a little bit more, but on the next page, there was a joint press conference that was held on the Illinois side about some law enforcement partners there that are helping us to keep our systems safer too. Destination Deals, we continue to grow that program just to kind of create the familiarity for you. Destination Deals is a program where if you show your Metro Pass, you can save at different venues such as the MX Movies and Bar downtown by the Convention Center and Sugar Fire and different places like that. So we have a large group of Destination Deals that are coming along with us, and it's pretty cool from that standpoint. About 2 quarters ago, we started a program called Community Connect. It's an engagement program where on a quarterly basis, we go out into the community with our friends from public safety, planning, Coloride, and various departments within Metro Transit to talk about what's going on within Metro Transit, to answer customers' questions. And so there is a webpage that's set up. It's metrostlouis.org/community. And so our next 4 events in November are already scheduled. We try to do them at a minimum of 4 weeks before any service change, so we can actually have a sit-down conversation with our customers, help them to better understand what's going on the system, and it gives us a better approach from that perspective, a lot of community engagement from that side too. We also do at least 1 virtual event that allows individuals to ask questions or hear updates from Chuck and from his team too. We've been working on a program with STL Studio to really kind of highlight a lot of our hiring events. And so our most recent one that we did in July was highlighting the versatility of our Metro mechanics. We were actually able to bring STL Studio into the main shop and allow them to go through some of the cool things that we're doing as far as with 3D printers and the way that our mechanics and our maintenance team works with our operators to better understand their needs on the bus and the train side and for Coloride as well, and be able to come up with better solutions as well as try to save us some money from that perspective. Metro also hosted a safety event in July. And so the combined people that were on the road, they have about 1,600 years of without a preventable accident, which is kind of cool. So those stats continue to go up. Transit app, the only change really in this is as far as the number of downloads. For the first time in probably 3 years, we're seeing a difference in the downloads as far as they're decreasing, but the number of sessions that people are using transit to know where their route that they need to do or to purchase a ticket continues to increase. And so a lot of the pages in here just continue to kind of reinforce that. Our passenger Wi-Fi that we have out on the system, how many people are using it as far as active users and their connections. And then we most recently started a Metro LinkedIn page. So that one is just kicking off in July. And so we want to make sure that the business community sees that from that perspective. Our recruiting, we continue with the live reads and the things that we're doing that way. We're using a lot of out of home. Those are billboards in order to get people to ride, whether it's to soccer or some of the fun events that are going on around St. Louis. And then we continue to do our streaming programs to create more of an awareness about Metro Transit, how we're used within the region, and moving through that. Last pages are really just a summary of some of the media releases that were sent out as well for the month of July. So that just kind of rounds out our July. August has been extremely busy, and so we'll have that report to you all in the next month. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thanks.
Any questions for marketing? Okay. Let's see. Thank you. Any old business? Seeing under Under new business, we got a topic of discussion for desired frequencies and subject matters from the reports from, to the commission from the bi-state. Ed and I have been in discussions over the last month and a half about one, what is the main purpose, or what is our main focus of this commission? And it's basically to review, approve the budget to send to St. Louis County for their approval. This last session that Bi-State had with St. Louis County Council, I was able to sit in on their presentation, and they are required to report to St. Louis County on a quarterly basis. And if we notice that the number, we get the same reports on a monthly basis, and there's very, very little change from month to month. So I like to enter into a discussion as to see, can we look into getting our reports on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, I'm sorry. And then on the 2 months in between the quarterly reports, leave it open for discussions so that members of this commission can bring some of their expertise to the commission to discuss, and we can bring more issues that we hear or see from the community to be discussed and passed on to Bi-State. And really like to open it up for discussion on what the body feels about this.
And Ed, I just thanks for all that. I'd add, based on our conversations and others, a few things. One is that as a group, we have very little in the way of statutory requirements from our mandate in the commission. We have to approve the budget every year. Otherwise, it is very open-ended what we do as a group. And I think using this as an opportunity, as you said, to talk about the right frequency makes a lot of sense. And then within that, as you said, how do we leverage the expertise of this group? I mean, our mandate as a group is to serve the people of St. Louis County by helping out people who work for the county in some capacity in public transportation. So I would say the broader, having a broader conversation of what can we be doing as a commission to advance our mandate and to help out the people who work for the county in some capacity on this call without creating a bunch of excess work that isn't always super helpful for us, I think creates a lot of extra obligations for you, to me, is part of the conversation we should have as well. But I'll turn it over to the other commissioners and get people's thoughts.
I agree with you. Any other input? So let's give it a try.
It sounded like someone was starting to talk, Ed.
I just had a clarification question, Ed. So are
Okay.
you suggesting we meet on a quarterly basis unless a commission member comes up has another topic they want to discuss on those off 2 months?
No, I'm still suggesting that we meet on a monthly basis. One, I think that we can generate enough interest in items that we see in the St. Louis County that we can discuss and pass on to Bi-State. And I think Bi-State can help us with some topics that help us to better understand some of their reports and budget items. I know, like the last financial report left some open questions, and maybe in the future, or maybe one of these next meetings, we can have Tammy come back and further divvy into some of these questions. No, I still think that we should meet on a monthly basis and get more input from the commissioners on things that they see that we as a commission should be doing. And if they think that we don't know where some of the questions will lead us to. I know that all of us think that the charter that organized this commission is right now some almost 40 some years old, is not older. No, I think it's 50, almost 50 years old, 73. Maybe, we take a look at that and pass on some suggestions to the county executive on what we see as a better role to serve the county. I think it's a lot that we can do other than to listen to the reports and us maybe have more input into the meetings. So I'm still saying on a monthly basis.
Okay, that's fine. I was just looking for some clarification.
Mhm. Anyone else? Okay, so hearing what we're going to do is starting next month, we're going to reach out and hopefully that you have some suggestions for the next meeting. I know one of the topics I have for the November meeting, I think it has something to do with the service change that Mr. Stewart talked about in December, which is going to be major, and maybe he can share some insight on that. But it's stuff like this that we can hear at the meetings that we can basically generate topics for the next meeting. I think it's an exciting time. One, hopefully more commissioners can be more involved in the meetings. And let's see where it goes.
Yeah, no, and I'd echo all that, everything you said. One is, I think if there's a desire potentially to, as you said, change the mandate of the commission, I think we're open to doing that and talking to the county executive and then talking to the county council about that. I think the other thoughts I have is, I do think this would save a lot of time for people who are preparing reports for us, which is obviously a good thing for all of you and for the taxpayers. I also think it's a chance for us to get into a lot more detail and try to leverage expertise of the commissioners here. And so we can spend a meeting talking about how we think about addressing crime, for instance, and then we can spend another meeting talking about really getting into the details and the weeds of hiring. And then we can spend another time talking about, making this up, self-driving technology and how we're thinking about that over the next 15 years. I mean, I think there's a lot that we can do to really get deeper into actual policy conversations, which is, I think, where we as a group can add a lot of value rather than going through some of the same reports every month.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Any other input? So we will have Izzy contact you and see what input that you would like to have. I think it's should be an exciting time. We're just going to see where it goes. Deborah, did you have something or?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So let's just see where it goes. And I know I think some discussions we had with some of the staff from Bi-State, I think they kind of, I'm not going to say they liked us because, they still got to do reports on their end. But like Ben said, the preparations of the reports, and it's very little change. If there's a major change in any of the reports, and I hope that Bi-State will come to us and say, well, we need to discuss this at your monthly meeting. So it's going to be a lot of input from us as a commission and from Bi-State if they see any issues that we need to address.
Yeah, and I just want to reinforce again, I mean, our goal as a commission is to serve the people of St. Louis County and to help all of you serve the people of St. Louis County. And so if you work for Bi-State or if you work for the county or if you work for any of the other agencies and have thoughts here of how we can be helpful, I think all of us are pretty amenable to that too, because I think the way these meetings have evolved is probably not optimized or helpful for just about anyone.
Right.
So anything that we can do to make these meetings run more efficiently and more helpfully for you, I think is a very important piece of feedback for us. And the same goes with any of the commissioners who want to share thoughts with Ed or with me or with anyone. Please do so as we try to think about forming a commission that is actually additive and valuable for everyone here.
Totally agree. Okay. The date for the next meeting, October 14th, 2024 at 4:00 p.m. Hearing that, entertain a motion for adjournment.
So move.
I didn't say nobody wants to leave. Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Have a good evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Mhm.
Good night all.